Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7 o'clock main news. In tonight's headlines, His Highness the Crown Prince receives the visiting Togolese Minister of Economy and Finance and Mauritanian Minister of Economic Affairs and Development. The fight over Kobani continues, with IS militants pressing on with their assault despite fierce resistance from the Kurdish defenders. Israel approves the construction of 500 more units in East Jerusalem amid international condemnation. And Libya closes Benghazi's commercial port due to clashes between the army and fighters in the area. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received today a cable of congratulations from His Excellency the President of the Togolese Republic, Faure Ganassingbe, on the occasion of the United Nations honouring His Highness the Emir as a humanitarian leader and the State of Kuwait as a humanitarian centre. In his cable, the Togolese President commended the great humanitarian efforts exerted by His Highness the Emir locally and internationally. His Highness the Emir sent a reply cable to His Excellency the Togolese President for his warm sentiments that reflect great bilateral ties. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received today a cable of congratulations from His Excellency the President of the Republic of Niger, Mahamadou Issoufou, on the occasion of the United Nations honouring His Highness the Emir as a humanitarian leader and the State of Kuwait as a humanitarian centre. In his cable, the President of the Republic of Niger commended the great philanthropic efforts exerted by His Highness the Emir locally and internationally. His Highness the Emir sent a reply cable to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Niger for his warm sentiments that reflect great bilateral ties. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah sent today a cable of congratulations to His Majesty King Tupu VI of Tonga on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah sent a cable of congratulations to His Majesty King Tupu VI of Tonga on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, also sent a similar cable of congratulations. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace His Highness Sheikh Nasser Al Mohammed Al Ahmed Al Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Governor of the Central Bank of Kuwait, Dr. Mohammed Yusuf Al Hashim. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace Minister of Finance Anas Khalid Saleh, accompanied by the Minister of Economy and Finance of the Togolese Republic, Ayatur Aji Oteth, on the occasion of his visit to the country, in which he conveyed a written letter from His Excellency the President of the Togolese Republic, Faure Ganassingbe, to His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah concerning bilateral ties between the two countries and means to enhance them in all fields. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Minister of Economic Affairs and Development of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Dr. Sidi Wiltah, on the occasion of his visit to the country, in which he conveyed a written message from His Excellency the President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, Mohammed Ould Abdelaziz, to His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah concerning bilateral ties between the two countries and means to enhance them in all fields. The meetings were attended by the Deputy Minister of Emir Diwan Affairs, Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al Sabah, and the Under-Secretary of His Highness the Crown Prince's Diwan for Protocol Affairs, Sheikh Mbarak Sabah Al Salim Lahmoud Al Sabah. The National Assembly Bureau met today under the chairmanship of the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanem. Speaking after the meeting, the Assembly Secretary Adil Al Khrafi said the Bureau welcomed the new members and expressed thanks to its old members and reviewed a number of items on its agenda. He added that a special committee was formed to follow up implementation of the new premises project for the Assembly members. Mr. Al-Khrafi concluded that the Assembly Bureau also studied a number of messages, which included invitations for the exchange of visits between the National Assembly and a number of brotherly and friendly parliaments. The First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah received today the Minister of Finance and Economy in the Republic of Togo, Ayasour Adji, and his accompanying delegation on the occasion of his visit to the country. The meeting was attended by the Director of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al-Mohammed Al-Sabah, the Acting Director of Africa Department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Hamad Al-Mish'an, and a number of senior officials at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister also received a copy of the credentials of His Excellency Almas Abdurrahmanov as the new Ambassador of the Republic of Kazakhstan to the State of Kuwait. The presentation was attended by the Foreign Under-Secretary Khalid Sulaiman Jarallah, the Director of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office, Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al-Mohammed Al-Sabah, and the Director of the Protocol Department, Daril Ajran. The First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister received at his office today the Secretary General and Executive Director of the Hope Journey, Yusuf Abdul Hamid Al-Jassim, and members of the Board of Trustees. He congratulated the team on their success and the fulfillment of the journey's preset goals, which were designed to represent the humanitarian and cultural image of the State of Kuwait. The First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister said the team reflected Kuwait's support to the international humanitarian efforts, especially with regard to people with special needs. Mr. Yusuf Al-Jassim and members of the Board of Trustees presented a commemorative gift to Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah and expressed their deep thanks for the assistance provided to them by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its diplomatic missions. They said this support helped the Journey of Hope team to achieve their goals. The delegation comprised of Sheikh Abdullah Al-Khalifa Al-Sabah, Captain Faisal Thnayan Al-Ghanim, Dr. Moudi Al-Hmoud, Brigadier Khalid Al-Kindari, Saoud Al-Ghannam, and Rihab Brusley. The visiting Djiboutian delegation attended a meeting at the Kuwait Chamber of Commerce and Industry to discuss expanding economic and trade relations between the two countries. The meeting is one of multiple initiatives acting on His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah's directives to transform Kuwait into a financial and commercial hub, taking the necessary steps to develop cooperation and relations with all countries. Our reporter Badriya Saleh brings us this story.
The Djiboutian delegation of diplomats visited Kuwait's Chamber of Commerce and Industry as part of their agenda while in Kuwait, as they met with members of KCCI to discuss expanding economic and trade relations between the two countries. Kuwait Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman Ali Al-Ghanim said the level of economic and trade relations between Kuwait and Djibouti fell short of expectations. Al-Ghanim said investors need to know further information on what Djibouti can export to Kuwait in order to ensure extension to a country Kuwait currently has no investments in. He called for setting up joint investment ventures. Al-Ghanim stressed that Kuwait-Djibouti cooperation should be promoted and deepened, but regretted that the long distance between both sides is a main obstacle to further develop bilateral economic cooperation. Djibouti's visiting Minister of Finance and Economy, Alis Moussa, said his country is doing its utmost to develop its economy and attract more foreign and Arab investment. According to Moussa, Djibouti enjoys a strategic position, security and stability, not to mention policies and plans to create an attractive investment atmosphere.
We are today in Kuwait Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I've been pleased to meet Kuwaitis business community in order to exchange and to inform, to make visible the opportunities offered to the Kuwaitis in the business community. We had a very, very interesting exchange and discussions. We believe in the relation between Djibouti and Kuwait. We want now to extend our relations to the private sector, business-to-business activities. Djibouti has a very long-standing relation with Kuwait, and Djibouti is growing like other African countries these last years with a GDP growth of 5%. We hope next year by 7%. And we do believe in possibility of developing together investment project with the Kuwait organizations, especially private sectors.
Djibouti's annual growth rate ranges between 5 and 7% in spite of the fallout of the global financial crisis, and foreign investment rates shot up to 30% of the gross domestic product in 2013 from 5% in 2000. Djibouti's economy is highly dependent on the tertiary sector, which represents around 75% of the GDP. The investment environment of the Republic of Djibouti is characterized by the combination of natural assets, efficient infrastructures, incentive regulatory framework, and funding, as well as market opportunities. Those combined factors secured the country a growth rate of 4.8% in 2011. At Kuwait Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I'm Badriya Saleh reporting for the English News.
Gunfire and explosions were audible from the Syrian-Turkish border region near Kobani today, indicating little respite from intensive clashes between Kurdish forces backed by Syrian rebels and Islamic State or IS militants. Iraqi Kurdish Peshmerga fighters and moderate Syrian rebels bombarded IS positions in Kobani overnight, but it was unclear if their arrival would turn the tide in the battle for the town. As the Iraqi troops were seen advancing towards the northern Iraqi city of Beji today, exchanging fire with the militants, Iraqi Defense Minister Haider al-Abadi said the Baghdad central government would supply the semi-autonomous Kurdish region with its needs for heavy weapons to help Kurdish fighters battling the militants. According to a U.S. commander, a U.S.-led campaign of airstrikes was also targeting the IS, with 9 strikes hitting its positions on Sunday and Monday in Beji, Fallujah and Al-Rutbah. In the face of disapproval from the United States at construction on occupied Palestinian land, Israel advanced plans for 500 settler homes in East Jerusalem. A week ago, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered plans for some 600 housing units for Ramat Shlomo and 400 others for Har Homa, another East Jerusalem neighborhood, to be advanced. Palestinian officials have voiced alarm, echoed in the international community, over the settlements, viewing them as a main obstacle to founding the independent state they seek in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Our correspondent in Ramallah, Fatma Abdul Karim, has the details in this report.
The Israeli government's housing authorities advanced on Monday a plan to build 500 new settlement units in an illegal settlement in East Jerusalem named Ramat Shlomo. This step was taken in the face of the publicly criticized policy by the US and world powers and amidst heightening tension in the city of Jerusalem.
It's furthering the crime it's committing, and we expect that more of those crimes are underway. Israel is clearly defying the United States. It's a slap on Kerry's face and a clear sign that it's evading its responsibilities.
The new houses will be built near the neighborhood of Beit Hanina, and the Palestinian officials voiced serious alarm, echoing the international community's calls to freeze settlement activity and to give a chance to the political process. However, the Israeli government is under pressure by the far right-wing lobbies in favor of the settlement activity across the West Bank and Holy Jerusalem.
This is a government of settlers, and the coalition is bounded by the same goals as settlers. Netanyahu's position now have approved that building of the new plans is a message to Palestinians that there is no chance for peace, and the U.S. efforts are ignored.
The plan is going to be soon joined to a larger plan of 1,600 new settlement units for Jewish settlers in and around Jerusalem, as part of a low-profile deal between the current Israeli government coalition led by Netanyahu and the settler groups. The Palestinians have called on the world leaders to respond to the new Israeli plans by supporting the Palestinian draft resolution at the United Nations Security Council. However, there's still no clear answer as to when Israel will properly freeze its settlement activity and step into the track of peace. Fatma Abdul Karim, Kuwait TV, Ramallah, Palestine.
Libya has closed Benghazi's commercial port due to clashes between the army and fighters in the area. Officials said that all ship movements and discharging of imports have been stopped after a Libyan Navy ship was hit, and at least 13 people were killed during heavy fighting with aircraft and tanks between the army and militants near the port of Benghazi. As the army moved more tanks and artillery into the city, the Red Crescent evacuated 53 foreign workers and 14 sick people trapped inside a hospital next to the port. The battle was part of a wider conflict in the North African state, where former rebels who helped oust dictator Muammar al-Gaddafi in 2011 are fighting for power and a share of Libya's large oil revenues. Ukrainian's President Petro Poroshenko was set to meet security chiefs today to re-examine an already teetering peace accord with pro-Russian separatists after they defiantly staged elections banned by Kiev. The election of leaders in two unrecognized statelets in eastern Ukraine on Sunday were backed by Russia but condemned by the Ukraine, the United States and the European Union. Poroshenko said that these pseudo-elections are a gross violation of the truce deal signed in Minsk on September 5th. Constant ceasefire violations have already undermined the truce, with fighting breaking out again today near the rebel-held city of Donetsk. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, speaking in Vienna, said Sunday's polls were unfortunate and counterproductive, and the situation in eastern Ukraine remained a matter of deep concern. The African Union has given Burkina Faso's military a 2-week deadline to hand over power to a civilian ruler or face sanctions, saying that the army had acted unconstitutionally when it took over after President Blaise Compaoré was forced to resign last Friday. Compaoré quit after mass protests at his bid to extend his 27-year rule. Following a meeting of the body's Peace and Security Council in Ethiopia, AU officials said that a popular revolt led to Compaoré's resignation, but the military takeover was against democracy. The AU's Peace and Security Council is expected to meet again in 2 weeks to discuss the crisis. And in local financial news, the 3 main indices of the Kuwait Stock Exchange were red by the end of today's trading session, with the price index dropping by 25 points to settle at the level of 7,293 points. The KSX 15 index also lost 1 point and reached 1,172 points. The share of the Metal and Recycling Company was the top gainer of the session, while that of Aldira Holding Company was the top decliner. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. And to recap tonight's news, here are the headlines once again. His Highness the Crown Prince receives the visiting Togolese Minister of Economy and Finance and Mauritanian Minister of Economic Affairs and Development. The fight over Kobani continues, with IS militants pressing on with their assault despite fierce resistance from the Kurdish defenders. Israel approves the construction of 500 more units in East Jerusalem amid international condemnation. And Libya closes Benghazi's commercial port due to clashes between the army and fighters in the area. Thank you for joining us.